Okay, time for my next mob movie, even though this technically isn't mafia, but I'm putting it under the umbrella of a organized crime film. Scarface, the remake of the Howard Hawks film starring Al Pacino, an actor who got the role of a lifetime twice. And up the bat, this is the most 80s film that ever 80s. And although I like it, I think it's kind of overrated. Although there is really good stuff in here. The beginning of it was less fiction and more current events. Now it's less fiction and more historic. It's about the asylum being given to Cuban immigrants who can get out of Cuba. And it actually shows actual footage of these people coming into the country. Then it cuts to Al Pacino going through customs and being interrogated. And I like the way he handles it. He's even like, look, you can do this to me. You can do that to me. You can throw me in prison. Nothing will be worse than what I had to live through in Cuba. I've had to work 10 hours a day to have nothing. Everywhere there's someone watching you, waiting for you to say something when you step out of line. So do whatever. I'm here. It'll be better than what I went through. Eventually he gets put in a camp till they sort him out. And him and a friend get an offer. They can get their green cards if they kill this guy who was a high-ranking part of Castro's government. There's some guy in Miami who this guy killed his brother and he wants him dead, so Pacino and his friend have him killed and they get their green cards, and we follow what is essentially an immigrant success story. We see him come from nothing to be the top of his world, although his world is illegal drugs. And it's very well done for what it is. The characters are interesting to follow. The film is shot well enough and it moves at a good pace. And even though he is this complete monster, we see later on he does have some degree of a moral foil. He eventually gets up with this one guy and he just starts growing. As he makes connections, he becomes more and more powerful until there's a hit on him by his boss. He ultimately gets out, kills his boss, and takes over. And this is a great scene because not only does he kill his boss, he kills this crooked officer, and there's this third guy in the room. Well, technically his friend kills the boss, but still. But there's a third guy, and his friend asks, what do you want? And you can tell this guy's scared to death, and Pacino just offers him a job. He's like, you want a job? The guy's like, yeah, knowing it's better than the alternative, and he's like, call me in the morning. And this is where he really goes into being at the top of the world. He gets his mansion, the cars he wants, he marries the woman he wants, which was his boss's wife, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. But what I think's interesting is after he gets to the top, you can tell he just seems bored all the time. He's never truly happy in the film, but he has more happiness before he made it to the top, where once he gets to the top, he's just miserable. He's more toxic. And the movie goes to show money can't buy happiness, which he thought the more money he got, the happier he would be, but he's miserable about it. And his wife, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, even basically tells him that in a fight they have. Look, you're so miserable. That's all you talk about. Money, 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 money. And it's true, and I think that's kind of a commentary on materialism. Eventually he gets in trouble. Their money laundering operation is caught on a bugged clock that has a camera in it, he gets offered some help from South America where he's buying his drugs from and has to kill this guy who's going to give a speech to the UN. And he's even given someone to work with you might recognize from Breaking Bad. And this is where he gets where his downfall happens. They plant the bomb on his car the night before, and while they're waiting for the opportune time to blow the car up, he picks up his wife and kids, which Tony Montana doesn't want no part of. He may be a monster, but he does have enough of a moral compass that he's not going to kill a woman and child. Although the guy that he was sent for him to help has the detonator and he's getting ready to blow it up, so Tony shoots and kills him. And then his whole world falls apart because we've seen the whole movie he's been unnaturally overprotective of his sister to the point where she's been missing for a few days. She's with his best friend. He kills his best friend only to find out they've been married. And while this is going on, the guy from South America gets a hold of him and he's basically, all right, you don't like it? Let's go to war. Bad move because this guy had his men in place to take out Tony in case anything happened, which sure enough it did. All these guys proceed on the mansion, kill all his men, and he gets in a final shootout where after being shot up a little, like the guy from South America, his top assassin kills him point blank with a double barrel shotgun, and he falls to the fountain in the lobby below as the camera pans up to see the statues holding the globe up that says the world is yours and the assassin standing where he once was. It's a very good movie overall with great performances. My two favorite scenes are the scene in the immigrations where he's like, there's nothing you can do to me here that's worse than what I've been through in Cuba, and the scene after he gets arrested where he gets into a fight with his wife in a restaurant and he makes a big scene. And it's the take a look at the bad guy scene where he talks about how tells the people, look, yeah, I'm the bad guy, but you need me for this. And as he leaves, it's like, take a look at the bad guy, and he just embraces what he is. That was a very great, well-acted scene. I don't know how Pacino managed to get the role of a lifetime twice, but it's a very entertaining movie that the plot moves along at a smooth pace. And don't got much more to say. Although, like I've said before, these two really should, if you like one, you really should see the other. These two films are so good. In fact, I'll put the films as equal. I may not have when I reviewed this, but after seeing this and rewatching this, I consider both films equals. My next film is going to be Donnie Brasco. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, over and out.